Here's a brief clip of U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth's testimony before the House. Meanwhile, at the G7 in Canada, Trump sounded like Russia's ambassador, complaining that expelling Russia from the G8 caused the war. In reality, it was Russia's 2014 invasion of Crimea that led to its ouster. How would keeping a verified invader in the G8 have prevented the next one? Trump even blamed Biden for starting the war. Now Pete Hegseth is here to deliver more absurdities.
Mr. Secretary, when you said that peace serves our national interest, does that peace come from a complete surrender of Ukraine and total victory for Russia?
Putin demands full capitulation. They said so publicly. So the question should be, does Russian demands for complete Ukrainian surrender serve the U.S. national interests?
That's never been a characterization of my statement, sir. We think peace is in the best interest, but I would point out, Ukraine is not the U.S. and Ukraine is not in NATO. And
NATO didn't exist in World War II, just as Hitler never invaded America. Yet isolationists then and Putin apologists now both equate peace with appeasement, something that clearly failed before and won't serve the U.S. now.
To draw that comparison is to draw one that is not correct. But we hope for peace. We believe peace is in the best interest of the United States of America, and our policies are pointing toward that.
Well, let me go back to
a narrative promoted by Trump and his whisperers holds that the U.S. and Russia can cooperate more closely. They even go so far as to believe they can pull Russia away from China. Sure, an 800-year-old murderous authoritarian kleptocracy can change, but only for Trump.
Is that peace, could the achievement of that peace through the complete surrender of Ukraine and the withdrawal of U.S. support for Ukraine, is that a worthy peace, and is that peace in the long-term and actually the short-term interest of the United States?
If you look at the billions of dollars that have been invested in Ukraine,
by President Biden, he approved billions in military aid so Ukraine could defend its sovereignty. You're pulling that support back to appease your boss's Kremlin contacts.
You could hardly characterize that as a surrender from the United States. So,
the U.S. under the Biden administration has consistently backed Ukraine's defense. Your approach, the U.S. under the Trump administration, effectively surrenders Ukraine's fight and rewards the petrostate's gangsters.
The existing military front line of troops is as difficult as it is, moving slowly. Where peace ends at the end of that, nobody really knows.
The Biden administration's support prevented that line from collapsing rapidly. Cutting aid would mean more Ukrainian soldiers, true defenders, not appeasers, will die, and Russia will continue its advance. That may be your boss's preference, but it isn't in U.S. interests.
But the president has worked harder than anybody else to try to get a peaceful outcome.
A peaceful outcome. His version of peace lines up with Putin's goals. Lifting sanctions and withholding aid only embolden Russia. But it was to be expected from a Putin groupie that called him a genius for invading Ukraine. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.